Can anybody, for the love of God, explain why this makes sense? Hey, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to A Fresh Perspective with Jeff Charles, where we prefer truth over narrative and principles over politics. And you already know that we're all about keeping it real here. And today we're diving into a topic that's going to possibly have you shaking your head, especially with everything that's going on in North Carolina, Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, and all the places that are being affected by these storms, these hurricanes. So basically, we're going to be talking about how government regulation of medicine and other things is making the situation worse, not better, especially in times of crisis like what we're seeing with the latest hurricane, Hurricane Helene or Helene. I'm not exactly sure how you pronounce it, but let's just go with Hurricane Helene. So I'm just going to dive right into it. I want to talk about something that's kind of flying under the radar for most folks. I read a report today and also a letter from Health and Human Services about IV solution. You know what they put into your arm when you go to the hospital when they need to get fluids into your body. It's basically what hospitals need to save lives. And right now, because of the hurricane, we are facing a national shortage of saline and other critical IV fluids. Baxter, the company that supplies about 60% of these fluids for the entire nation, it had to shut down one of its main facilities. It's located in North Carolina. So it went through a lot of that flooding. So this is bad news, right? This is horrible news. So here's the kicker. To fix the problem, the FDA has approved temporary imports of IV solutions from other countries like the United Kingdom, Ireland, China. So that's good. I mean, hopefully that helps. I mean, because I understand that these people need all the help that they can get. I was watching some videos yesterday of people talking about what's going on the ground, how many people are missing or dead. It's devastating. I can't even imagine going through this. But here's the thing. Normally, the government doesn't allow these imports at all. Yeah, that's right. So the IV solution that hospitals need to save lives, they can't import them from other countries because the FDA says no. The same government that is supposed to protect us is blocking life-saving medical supplies from coming in from overseas. And now that we're in crisis mode, they're suddenly okay with it. Are you kidding me? How does that even make sense? Why was this ever an issue in the first place? This is yet another example of how the government makes things worse. Perhaps North Carolina and other states would have been better prepared if they had already been able to import these fluids into the United States. They might not be facing a shortage. Here's the thing: the government shouldn't have the power to decide where you and I get our medicine from. You know who that should be up to? That should be between us and our doctors and whatever medical professionals we want to consult with before we take certain drugs and medications. If the government had not been playing gatekeeper with drugs and IV solutions, like I said, could have been a lot better prepared for this. If hospitals and healthcare providers could always import IV fluids and other medicines from other countries, we wouldn't be in such a bind right now. It's that simple. We saw something similar under the COVID-19 pandemic, where we were running out of critical medical supplies because the government says that you can't get it from overseas. So the government has to, quote, protect us by making sure we can only use FDA approved drugs, even if they cost way more here than they do overseas. This is another dimension of this whole thing, even if you take the disaster out of it. Imagine if you can get a badly needed medicine for a fraction of the price from Canada, but Uncle Sam says, nope, that's not allowed. That's not freedom, guys. That's control. That's government control that it does not deserve to have. And now people are scrambling to keep hospitals stocked with saline solution and other items just because some bureaucrats somewhere in DC or elsewhere decided that we shouldn't be allowed to import it. Here's the thing. This is where the solution comes in. You know, what about the free markets? What about personal choices? What about liberty? Why is the government telling us which drugs we can use and can't use? And no, I'm not even talking about the war on drugs right now. The government should not be the ones who decide what you can and cannot put into your bodies. People should be able to make that decision for themselves. If you want to trust an IV solution from Ireland or a medication from India, that should be your call, not something that some bureaucrat gets to decide for you. This is a nanny state gone wild. Let's be real. If we opened up the markets, not only will we avoid these types of shortages, or at least more of them, the prices would come down across the board. There would be more competition, which means more lower prices, more innovation, and more supply. And it means that we, the people, have more control over our health care decisions and what we decide to take. Again, this should be between you and your doctor. You should be able to do your own research and figure out what you want to take and what you can't take. The state does not have any business using government force to decide for you. That's already a problem in the healthcare industry that goes even beyond this. I've done tons of videos on this about how the government, in collaboration with a lot of these large corporations, they're making your healthcare decisions for you, and they should never have the authority to do that. It's time that we demand more choice, more control, and less government involvement. I mean, we either believe this stuff or we don't. Are we free or are we just pretending? I'll leave it there. Let me know what y'all think. Before you go, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Please share this. Let me know what you think. If you don't, then the government's going to continue being all up in your business. If you don't watch this, if you don't share this, they're going to come knocking on your door. Okay, maybe not, at least not yet. But still, share this. Let me know what you think. Also, check out my Substack. It's called Chasing Liberty. You can take a look at that at libertychasers.com. Become a subscriber. Support my work. I appreciate it. And until next time, you know what to do. Stay free, stay principled, and most importantly, stay ungovernable.